Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and whatever time you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to the Pixel Power Up. This is our third episode. We're really getting into it, you guys. We're really hanging in there. I'd like to introduce my guests, or my co-hosts, which are...
Ikaika Shively.
And...
Wesley Babcock.
Hello, thank you for joining me once again. Once again, you guys.
We joined together. We didn't join you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
all together.
my bad.
Co-host.
Who brought
Hosting.
the equipment?
Yeah.
You did, Ikaika.
And who-
Ikaika.
And who forgot their headphones?
I did. I forgot my headphones.
Yeah.
I can't hear a lot of things right now, but that's just my whole life.
It's all good.
So we're gonna do what we always do. We're gonna talk about what we've been playing. What's going on? Wesley Babcock.
Well, I haven't been playing much. I've been playing the catch-up game on homework. I've just been watching
It's a
some
shitty
YouTubers. Yeah, I know it's a very shitty game,
It's
but
not a fun game at all.
got another year and a half left of that. So
It's
yeah.
a long game.
Yeah, very long
Yeah.
game. But I know I've just been following some YouTubers.
Like who?
Still watching Vicstar for Minecraft, Beastheart for some StarCraft, local TV for some StarCraft. Just kind of watching,
Yeah.
waiting,
Just
trying
hanging.
to see if I can pick up any techniques, but I'm
In Minecraft?
getting scared. No,
Or
no,
in
no. StarCraft,
StarCraft,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I'm pretty sure this game's gonna not happen. So,
Really?
Yeah.
You've given up on that dream?
Competitive? No.
Yeah,
Maybe
casual's
on
fun,
like
though.
casual competitive level,
Yeah.
just not caring.
Run through that storyline.
Yeah.
You know what? All the StarCraft 2 games have had good single player components.
Yeah, their single player is actually good compared to most games that are coming out now.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Call of Duty single player, which no one ever really likes to talk about, but they actually have really solid single player storylines. But it's such a multiplayer focused game, it kind of gets overshadowed.
It gets brushed to the side.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
gets swept
okay.
under the bed. Who cares? But
Yeah.
I care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. StarCraft 2, great single player. So that's gonna be it from you today.
Yeah, that's pretty much it that
Just
I've-
watching, just
Yeah.
hanging, just chilling, doing
Yeah.
homework.
And then hopefully this weekend I can get to play some since I actually missed the double XP for Battlefront last weekend. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got you got more catching up to do.
more catching up.
You got
yeah.
more catching up. Kaika. Kaika. We
Yay.
have some stuff to talk about.
So over the weekend, the 3-day weekend, I actually picked up 5 new games.
Jesus. That's
Um,
a lot.
so I'll start off with the cheapest one.
Yeah, let's just
So
roll from the top.
PSN had it was a flash sale,
Hmm.
so I got Injustice for $7.
That's a good price.
That's the DC fighter, and yeah, I didn't want to get it before because it looked like. I mean, I knew the NetherRealm, who makes Mortal Kombat, makes that game, but
You don't like Mortal Kombat?
no, I love Mortal Kombat, but it just felt like almost like a knockoff, even though it's the same company. I mean, the graphics aren't everything, but it just didn't look that great.
It's an old game.
Yeah,
To be fair.
that's another thing. But it was actually really fun. I'm not really a DC person besides Batman, but the story, I don't know if you ever played it. The story is really good. So basically, the premise is Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane, and then he becomes almost a dictator that rules the world.
Superman does?
Yeah, Superman. So he either kills the rest of the Justice League or they conform to him. So the same thing is happening with there's 2 different not universes. So the other universe, the same thing's about to happen, but someone gets teleported to the Superman's universe where he's
His weird dictator.
where he's ruling and everything.
Super Hitler.
And then so they figure out it's pretty much the Justice League versus the Justice League.
Okay.
Um,
That's weird. That's cool though.
it's cool because
Yeah.
some of them are like, oh, so are we gonna fight against Superman? Like, no. Do you know what he did to Green Arrow? He killed him. So, but you play about 4 matches with each character,
Yeah.
and then to the very end.
How do you beat Superman?
Kryptonite.
But how do you punch Superman to death? I don't feel like you can.
Kryptonite gloves.
Well, who says he dies?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't. He never dies, right? He's Superman.
No, Doomsday killed him.
He's
I think.
invincible, isn't he?
No,
That's-
they're one of the comic storylines out of many kills him off.
Yeah.
Really?
But enough about that game. But yeah, I like that game. It
That's
was
cool.
great for $7.
$7. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a bargain deal.
Another cheap game that was on that sale was Lego Jurassic World,
Okay.
which
I didn't know you were 3 years old.
I'm not,
a
but
Kaika.
but Jurassic Park is my favorite film of all time.
Sure.
So
But
I
those Lego
wanted-
games they're
It is.
easy.
it is, but it's fun when you play when you are intoxicated with
Sure.
alcohol.
A lot of things are fun when you're intoxicated with alcohol.
But it's also I wanted like have more multiplayer games when I decided to start using Twitch again to play with other people because I don't stream by myself because I'm awkward by myself.
Sure.
But yeah, I wanted that game just because if people that want to play but aren't the best gamers, that's one of the best games to pick
That's
up.
the game. That's why you play with 3-year-olds because that game requires you to push forward and then I don't know, circle once or twice.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But
It's cool,
it's a great game
Yeah.
if you want to get more trophies because it's very easy.
Oh, I see.
But it's interesting. I first played the Jurassic World version, which was the movie's not that great, but the game was cool because it had different scenes that were not in the movie, but it had the actual actors.
Can you play as Lego Chris Pratt?
Yes,
That's awesome.
and like it's actually his voice, and it's lines that were not in the movie at all.
Oh, okay. So,
So
he
it's
did,
like totally
actual.
different parts, and you can play as
yeah.
the dinosaurs, which is
Oh,
pretty fun.
nice.
Sweet, yeah.
Plays a
Um,
T-Rex.
so yeah, that game's decent. I mean, it's nothing amazing. It's Lego.
Sure.
The next game I got was Evolve, which I played last night a little bit.
Okay. I think you
Um,
briefly talked about that last week. How have you been enjoying that game?
It's really difficult to be the monster, or I don't know if the training just isn't good enough, but I found it really hard, even like against the computers. I used the Goliath, which just said easy, and I still die,
Yeah.
and I'm like trying to run away, and then they always find me before I can even evolve or even like get enough for the shield. So it was really difficult.
So
And I
you've
tried.
just kind of been getting wrecked.
Yeah,
lately.
and I've tried online once as the monster, and it was bad. It was all bad. But there's another mode where it's you're the hunters, and it's like a five level story. So like each one has a different match, and apparently every time you replay it over again, it's different types of matches. So I think there's a combination of up to 800,000 different ways like for the matches are out of all
Sure.
5.
That's interesting.
But it was fun.
Yeah. You playing with other people, like other real people that you know? or
I only did it offline just to get it used to it
Sure.
and see which character I would prefer.
who do you prefer?
What's
What's your play style? Because I know there's like a medic, there's a trapper kind of guy.
I wanted to try the trapper, but I haven't yet. So I pretty much was doing assault or support.
Okay.
Support was pretty cool, but I just feel like the game would be so much better, which everyone's saying, with friends, like or people that you know.
Definitely, that's like a co-op game.
Another game I got was Dragon Age
Which one?
Inquisition,
Okay, that's a good one.
and I'm not really the big of an RPG person, like I said last week.
Sure. You can bang a lot of people in
But-
that game. Just so you know. A lot of romance options.
Very important detail.
That's a
about
very
game.
important detail for me. You can bang both genders.
I think I only got maybe an hour and a half gameplay in.
Okay.
So
So you
I-
barely scratched the
I
surface.
just beat the prologue and
Yeah.
I'm like going on. But yeah, that game is great, even for me who doesn't really like RPGs.
Well,
But
it's
I'm
almost
just
like an action RPG, you
Yeah.
know, because there's not as much like turn-based or kind of just you're kind of brawling.
I'm really scared though that I'm gonna lose my life to it. So I kind of want to like. I'm glad that I have 4 other games
Yeah.
where I can go back and forth because I don't want to just invest all my time in that. I just want to maybe do like an hour or 2 hours here, maybe like one day out of the weekend I can spend like all day doing it. And then the last game I got, which came out last Tuesday, or actually this Tuesday, was Street Fighter 5.
There we go. This is what I've been waiting
Yes,
for.
I've
So-
been leading up to it.
Okay, good. How do you feel about Street Fighter 5? I know you're writing a review.
Yeah, I just finished it, so it's gonna be in print on Monday.
Wow. It's
Um,
going to be in print?
Yes,
Why aren't my reviews in print, Akaika?
because
What's going on? I
I don't
reviewed
know.
XCOM 2.
I know
Where's that? Is that going to be online, not in print?
it's going. Well, it's way late, and this Street Fighter 5 just went up. Well, because Copy had to edit it and everything else, and we had to still edit all the things.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
essentially just going to blame Wesley, who's in
Yeah,
copy.
basically.
It's Wesley's fault.
Yeah, always Wesley's.
I'm not
fault.
throwing you under the bus though. But
So how do you feel about it?
it's disappointing. I'm just gonna
Yeah?
say that it's disappointing because
What's disappointing?
they could have waited until June to release this game.
Yeah.
Basically all there is are there's a story mode, which is 3 to 4 matches
I
per
wouldn't
character.
I wouldn't call that a story mode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's 3 to 4 matches, so it's pretty much leading up to the actual story mode that comes out in June.
Yeah, and the matches are single round matches where they start you with full super meter and then the full V meter, which is their new meter. Also, the AI is essentially just stands there and lets you kind of hit it till you win.
I
Yeah.
think of it more as a way to try every character out without getting frustrated. Like you're trying to figure out, but the AI is too good. But that gets kind of annoying when it's so easy to like. On one of them, you can probably just with M Bison just do the slide kick the whole way through.
Yeah, no, at
And-
some point I just wanted to grind those out really quickly, so I was just throwing them over and over again.
Yeah, I beat it all 16 characters. Their story mode combined was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, just about.
But I wanted to get that out of the way just so I can see who I liked. Which the 4 new characters, 3 of them are like one of my favorite characters now, as like playable wise. So there's Laura.
Yeah, she's dope.
Yeah, she's great.
I've been maining Laura.
She's bae. There's what's his name?
Rashid.
Yeah, Rashid.
Rashid's cool.
He's cool.
He's all about the internet. He saw that on the net, man.
I like how he's like cocky, but he's not like a jerk about it.
Yeah.
Like when he loses, he's like, "Oh,
Nobody's
better."
really a jerk in that game.
yeah."
They're
And
all
then
like super nice to each other.
I think the newest addition is Nikali, the
Yeah.
warrior guy. I don't know if you've seen what he looks like, Wesley.
He can go Super
I
Saiyan,
haven't.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So the new feature is the V trigger, which you either, if you're playing PS4, triangle or circle, those moves together will charge up the V meter, or if you take damage, it fills up. So it's almost like another like power bar to use like combos. But what's really good about the V trigger is each character, it's a different thing. It does a different thing. So for Chun-Li, it makes her whenever you hit, it'll do 2 hits instead of 1 or maybe 3.
Wow.
For Ken, it's a combo extender, and then for Ryu, you can charge up your Hadoukens,
You
among
get
other
like
things.
lightning
Yeah,
Hadoukens.
and for Nikali, the new warrior guy, like because he has like long dreads and they become like Super Saiyan like hair.
He
and
gets
he's,
Super
wow.
Saiyan
super
hair.
strong.
He gets actual Super Saiyan hair.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that new edition is great. What do you think about it?
I like it. I feel like a lot of it is hidden. And by what I mean by that is that Street Fighter V has a serious problem where the tutorials are awful. There's one tutorial that essentially teaches you how to throw a punch, and then it's over. And the V trigger also, there are V skills as well. So each character, if you hit a 2-button combination, will do their own unique V skill. So, for example, Ryu can parry. So he'll like absorb an attack, or Laura will do like this kind of backflip and then she'll kick. And that's just a 2-button press. But there are also V reversals, which are essentially like combo breakers. If you hold back and then do like 3 punches, you'll do a V reversal, which will take up 1 bar of your V bar. And the game doesn't tell you about this at all. It's not in the tutorial. There are no tutorials for it because there's not a challenge mode yet, which is a real bummer for new players. So if you didn't know anything about Street Fighter V and you didn't have access to the internet, which would be crazy,
Yeah.
but if that was a scenario, you would never know about this because the game doesn't tell you about it.
Yeah, I had to go to YouTube to figure out.
I had
'Cause
to
I was
go
like,
to YouTube for almost goddamn everything.
I was like, how do you use this? They don't really say. Like, I know you can push R1 and R2 when it gets filled up, and
and you do cool stuff, but they don't.
you look cooler, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. I
They
can
don't
see it takes
explain
more.
what
Yeah.
a lot of them even do. Like, for example, I didn't know what Laura's did. Like, I know she's electric, but does she deal more damage? Does she do more stun damage? They don't tell you this at all, and that's also really surprising because they do have individual story modes for each character. They could have put a text box in there saying your V skill makes your attacks deal more damage, but they didn't.
The worst thing about the game though is the servers.
The servers have been really bad lately.
Like the first night, I couldn't even play one game. Like, even it would go on. Like I would go on there, and then I would start a game. I'll throw a couple punches, kicked off of server, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I looked, and like I went to play like another game just to see my ping and everything, and everything was fine. So I was like, okay, so it's not my internet connection. And then I looked up and it's like, oh, the servers are down, and then the creators like, oh, they're gonna be better soon. So hopefully they will, because this is ridiculous.
I mean, I've been having I played like 40 matches yesterday, and the servers have been okay now.
Yeah, I
A
played.
lot of them have been.
I played a
fixed.
little bit before earlier today, and then last night it was better, but it's a little.
You still get logged off every
Yeah,
once in a while.
which is annoying, because that's like, imagine if you're playing like Call of Duty or something, and then you just get.
Yeah, they would not survive if you kept getting kicked off.
You know what's annoying is when you're doing the survival mode. You have to do the survival mode, which you play either 10 fights, 30 fights, or 50 fights, and this is how you get new colors for your fighters. And I was doing the 30 fight one, which is it gets kind of difficult near the end because the AI starts to mind read you, because
Yes.
that's how they scale their AI, is that the AI will know what inputs you're putting in and then they'll react to that. So I get to my 27th fight and I get booted off the server and I have to restart the whole thing. And getting up to 27 fights took like 40 minutes. So it's been a bummer, but it's a good fighting game. That's the thing.
Well, at least you got kicked off. When I first did it with Ken, I was at stage 30, the last stage against M Bison, and he killed me. And he had like 2 more punches and he would have been dead.
Yeah.
And I think he killed me with like an not ultra combo, but like a critical attack. So he used like his whole bar and just demolished me, and I had to restart the whole thing again. But it's weird because like, I remember last week you were saying, oh, it's Ken and Ryu, are they really different? They are, because I tried today to try to do the 30 survival, and I could only get to like 15 and I would die. But with Ken, it's easy.
Ken's definitely, they've definitely changed Ken and Ryu quite a bit. Their V skills are different, wildly different. Ken does like a sprint. He sprints at the enemy, which is like crazy because people have been doing that in combos where they'll like attack them up and then they'll sprint to the other side. It's mind blowing. I don't understand how that works. And then Ryu does like a parry, and I know a lot of their skills have different like properties. Like some Kens will go faster, but Ryu's will hit harder. So that's really cool that they've differentiated those two characters even further. I know they did a bit in 4, but they've definitely gone the extra mile. Also, Ken looks weird. Doesn't he look weird? I don't know.
He does, but I'm used to it now.
His design.
already.
In the fight loading screen, his ponytail pokes through his shoulder. Like, it clips completely through, and it's huge. It's like half of your screen. And like, how does that even happen? How does the game creator see that and they're like, all right, that's cool. Like, we'll put that in the final product.
I think March was when we get challenge mode, which
March is when we get the store and challenge mode.
so challenge mode apparently is will actually teach you combos and everything, which I'm excited about.
I'm super excited about that because I can suck at Street Fighter. Like, I'm so bad. Out of the 30 games I played yesterday, I won maybe 3 online.
Well, this would be interesting after the podcast when we're fighting each
I
other.
got beat by a guy named Trash Player. Like, that was his username on the Fight Network, and I lost to him. So
I bet you felt like trash.
I felt really bad. My sodium levels were so high. I was so salty.
But I think within a couple months, this game will be great.
Definitely.
But still, as the product from now and the product of Street Fighter 4 when it first came out, Street Fighter 4 is better all the way.
Yeah.
But once the bugs, or not once the servers are better and the story mode comes in and all the other options coming out, I think Street Fighter 5 might be one of the best Street Fighter games. But
it has a
until
lot of
then,
potential.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now, it's not a good game. Well, it's a good game.
It's a good game. It's just not.
It's just very bare bones, and it's not worth.
From what I was
$60.
expecting, it's a disappointment, but it's still a great game.
And a lot of it's just because they had to rush it out for the Capcom Cup, which is starting relatively soon, so they needed to get out to the hands of everybody. But yeah, it's really unfortunate with Street Fighter V. If they waited a month or 2, we would be having a way different story right now. It would be a fantastic video game. Hopefully. Again, we don't really know. Because we don't know what's going to be in that challenge mode. We don't know what's going to be in that store. So, I mean, we're pretty sure that it's going to be good, but what if it's trash?
And I hope they bring in where you can do offline versus against the CPU, because right now you can't. Like,
That's pointless. Like, how do you practice?
I mean,
like you have to practice through either training or if you do the survival modes and stuff, which is dumb because I want to like choose the difficulty of someone for just one match, or maybe make it like best out of 3 or 5 or something like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
what I do is I do the training, and then from there you can set the dummy settings to like You can set their dummy setting to CPU, and then you can go difficulty level. I've been doing 6, and then you can change all the health bars to normal, and that'll pretty much get you a match. But it's only 1 round, and then it'll restart completely. You're right though. It's insane that they don't have an option where you can fight a computer.
Yeah, when I noticed that, I was like, really? Like, this just feels like a really, really good beta. Like,
Yeah, this feels like a Steam early access game. So that's been unfortunate. How have you been doing online? Who have you been maining, by the way? Is it Ken?
yes, Ken.
Ugh. Ken's the worst.
So, first match, I won, and I was stoked.
Nice.
Second match, I won barely. And then since then, it's been downhill.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been playing like
Progressively better people, and you're just
I
getting...
feel like I'm playing like people like just pros right now because I'm just getting demolished.
The matchmaking is very odd. So if you're doing ranked, you have league points, right? And I have 0 league points because I'm a garbage player. So, and I'm going up against people with like 900 league points, and they're like, I'm in a rookie rank, and they're in like the super bronze. So I'm just getting crushed by them. Like, why can't I be matched up with other people?
Isn't that what ranked means? Like,
Isn't that,
shouldn't you be like with your
That's
skill
what it
difficulty?
should mean.
You
is
should
that
fight
you're with
in
your
your
skills.
own rank.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately, I've been only going up against like bronze and super
Yeah.
bronze, and I'm not learning anything because they're just crushing me so quickly. Like, I can't even like get out a hit. I've been perfected like 4 times in a row.
Oh, that hasn't happened to me almost once, but
Yeah, sometimes I just
gotta
like
punch them.
throw out a light punch just so I don't get perfected. Yeah, so Street Fighter, I mean, that's what I've been playing as well pretty much this whole week. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I mean,
it's still a great game. But
it's still a great game, but it's sad.
yeah,
It's a sad, great game.
I hope they bring in more. Well, they are bringing more characters, but
They are,
I-
yeah, as DLC.
hopefully it will just be like they'll just bring at least 10 new people in because I want a huge roster.
Yeah, the roster is really small compared to
Not
Street
like
Fighter
something
4.
like Smash Brothers where it's like there's like 30 million characters,
Yeah.
but enough for there's more diversity and bring back some other old fighters.
Yeah, they're bringing back like M Bison, or not M Bison, excuse me, Balrog.
I want to see DJ.
You
come
want to
back.
see DJ come back?
I haven't.
I
Was,
don't
it,
know if DJ is going to come back.
was he in 4?
I think, yeah, he was in 4.
I don't think I never got the DLC.
Laura's essentially DJ.
I know, but DJ just looks so cool.
That's true. Laura looks pretty cool.
I
to
mean,
be
I
fair.
never was good with him, but I just liked
He was
using
all
him
hip
in
hoppy.
Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first DLC character, I like that they are allowing you to buy them with fight money, with like 100,000 fight money, which is actually what you get from just completing the story on every single character. So that's definitely a cool thing that they're doing. You don't have to like pay for this new character
You can pay if you want, but
if you want. There's another currency. I don't know what that's
ain't
called.
nobody got time for that.
I mean,
I'd rather just play and earn it than use real money.
I think it's people who don't have time to play and earn it.
Unless it's like
Just buy it with real
unless it's
money.
like Akuma, then I'll probably pay for it because
Yeah,
Akuma's one of my favorites too.
Kuma's awful. Whoa, some stuff is happening
Sorry.
over there. Wesley Babcock is
Computer froze.
having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
With that, we're probably just gonna move on because that's all I've been playing. Street Fighter
That's fine.
5. It's all I've really had time for.
Isn't the first news story about Street Fighter?
I thought it was because
I think so.
Lupe Fiasco?
No, the first news story is about
Oh.
Kojima and where he's been. So if you've been following Kojima's like Instagram or his updates, he's been like traveling the globe ever since he ditched Konami, or Konami ditched him really. So he actually met up with Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, which was kind of exciting because there's always that thought that he might do something with Norman Reedus, who was actually going to be in that Silent Hill game, which never ended up never happening between Kojima and Quentin Tarantino. Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, well, Guillermo del Toro. Who's Quentin Tarantino? That's
Who is Quentin?
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what?
Quentin Tarantino, someone, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we can
Pulp-
justify this.
Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs,
Yes.
Kill Bill,
I thought
Glorious
that was
Bastards,
I thought that was Guillermo del Toro.
No.
Django Unchained.
Guillermo, or
They've-
I can never pronounce
Guillermo
that
del Toro is
Guillermo.
He's more like-
Hellboy, Mama,
Yeah.
Pacific Rim,
Oh,
yeah.
you see,
Pan-
I never.
Pan's Labyrinth, right? Didn't he do Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah. That's what he's, I think, known
He's
for.
more of the horror type, which
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino doing a horror. I would pay to see that.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
pretty
be
cool.
Sorry. That would be so bloody. Like you just see
Yeah.
like the monster would like scratch someone, and
And
you
then
just
all,
see a flood of blood come out.
and then you have a samurai sword.
Think about how much cooler it would be if all three of if those two met up with Kojima and made a horror game. That'd be
And
be
Michael
exciting.
Bay for
I
some
feel like it'd be
explosions.
too much. No.
No.
And then it would get cut because that's what happened to Kojima's. Anyways, so yeah, Norman Reedus was working on that horror game with them. And Kojima apparently had also asked Cliff Bleszinski, who was the man behind the Gears of War series.
Oh yeah, Cliffy B.
Cliffy B. He asked Cliffy B to help him make the new Silent Hill game, but unfortunately Cliffy B declined, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like that game would be pretty radical. Anyway, our next news story is that the video game industry actually, the Entertainment Software Association announced that there was a 5% increase in digital sales of video games, which is compared to the 22.4 billion, which was made in 2014. In 2015, it made 23.5 billion. So that's kind of exciting to see the transition from physical media to the digital interface, digital sales. And I guess that's kind of the clearest numbers that we've seen so far that it's actually happening.
Well, and it's also visible when you're like shopping online. Like I was in a store and the game disc, it basically said, "Oh, there's nothing in here. Go online to download it."
Here's
and
a code.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
then why have a case?
I mean,
But-
yeah, it makes sense, I guess, because then, publishers don't have to. That was a really loud clap that I did on my own thigh. Publishers don't have to actually put out physical copies and ship them, which cost money. Doing it online just saves money. And, publishers are all about in the business of making money.
Maximizing profit. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next news story that we've come up to is that the Mass Effect Andromeda lead writer has actually left BioWare, which is scary for BioWare. Chris Scheif, who was the lead writer of BioWare, joined in late 2013 and left this past week, which is odd, seeing as how Andromeda is still very much a thing in people's mind and is kind of the new Mass Effect game to be coming out. So it's kind of weird that he would be leaving BioWare. I don't necessarily understand why. I guess he maybe just wanted to move on to bigger and better things, but
Yeah, I mean, I was reading through the comment section, and I think it's kind of like how for AMD, like their CPU designer, like the head one that led all their top designs, left, and everyone was making a big deal out of it. Like, oh no, the company is going into ruin, and it's like, no, most of these people that are high skilled go to a company, do a project, finish the project, move on to the next job.
yeah. So I mean, I
That's
guess
probably what's happening here.
yeah, Andromeda, they probably have finished most of it,
Yeah.
so they're just all leaving.
Yeah.
Their
so-
time has been done. Their time
Or
is done.
there's a bigger issue and everyone hates EA, which would be.
I mean, that's a very
Yeah.
real thing as well.
So I mean,
So that's not
But,
out
I
of
mean-
the realm of possibility.
have to see.
We're going to start talking about Street Fighter V again. Rapper Lupe Fiasco beat Daigo Umehara, who's just the Street Fighter giant in the esports scene.
Staged, would you say?
People have been saying it's staged.
I rewatched it and I was like, this seems too much of a comeback to be like.
I don't know. I like to believe in miracles. I mean, Daigo Umehara was definitely like kind of sandbagging. He was not playing super seriously. I mean, this guy is the guy who was maybe the second best player last year in Street Fighter. He beats Justin Wong. So there's no way that Lupe Fiasco would beat Serious Daigo. That's just not a possibility. But this was cool to watch. This was like the most hype. This made me buy Street Fighter V.
Well, it looks like Lupe Fiasco could use a miracle for his music career because his last thing that came out was in 2011. So,
Oh, I mean,
not to throw shade, but you know,
yeah.
I mean,
But to throw shade, I'm
to
not
throw
really
shade.
too.
Maybe it was a publicity stunt to get him back in the spotlight.
Maybe.
I
I only
think-
know that song Kick Push.
He was part of Ice. No, I don't know.
And that's like
I don't
in
know rap music.
2006.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
so,
try
That
like,
was a good
to.
song though.
Yeah. No, I mean I liked some of his stuff. He had some good collabs with some other people. So
Are you into rap music, Wesley? Are you into
no, it
hip-hop?
was
Oh, he's
th-
straight-
it was
he's
a
straight,
pop
like,
song.
It's
straight
a
outta
pop
Compton.
song.
Yeah, it was a collaboration with someone else.
I don't know. He
I don't
was,
remember. Yeah,
I thought he was a rap artist. I have no idea. It says rapper on this news
No, he
story.
is. He's-
Yeah.
he's a rapper. Yeah,
Okay.
but that's what I'm saying collaboration because now the songs have. It was like right when that period started where you had pop song, and then rapper comes out of nowhere.
Oh, and starts like dropping some verses.
Even if it doesn't make sense.
Like Rebecca Black on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. She made a new song. She made
Yeah,
She's
Saturday.
made several songs.
Yeah, but no one cares about those. She
No.
made like a new sequel song to Friday, which I thought was funny.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally making fun at the first one.
It
Which I
really
was
is.
like, she knows.
Yeah, good on her for being so
Yeah.
self-aware. But anyway, that's cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure this live stream actually got people to buy Street Fighter V. I'm sure it was like really good publicity. I feel like it'd be less great if Daigo beat Lupe Fiasco because that's not really a story, but Lupe Fiasco beating Daigo is the story.
Yeah.
So maybe there was some influence there. I like to believe it's not staged though. Just in my heart, I like to believe that Lupe Fiasco pulled one out. So Polygon reported that The Division is launching a timed Xbox One exclusive DLC, which is kind of unfortunate for everyone else who's not an Xbox One owner, that they'll have to wait for the Division DLC. I think it's about a month they're going to have to wait before they'll PC and PS4 users will have access to that DLC. I'm actually going to play the Division. I have it preloaded, the open beta, so I'm gonna get on that hopefully tonight.
Point of note, I just thought of when you were talking about that. This kind of goes in with something else that Microsoft's been doing lately. Is several of their developed titles are coming out as Xbox and PC exclusives, and some stuff is limited just to purchasing in the Windows Store. So I think that's something we'll start to see here. Like anything they make is probably going to be on their proprietary platform now.
Yeah,
Like their Steam's not hosting one of their games that's coming out.
yeah.
Like I
that's
can't remember
interesting.
which one it was, but yeah.
Why do people like? I guess I understand why people want to get away from Steam, but it's just it makes it more difficult for me because then I have to have
It's
all
like
these.
a game launch isn't a different thing every
Yeah.
time, and you're like, ah,
Just come on,
really?
just do it with Steam. Don't make it difficult for me.
yeah.
So Fallout 4 announced that they're actually raising the price of their season pass from $29.99 to $49.99.
It's a brand new freaking game. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Apparently, the 3 pieces of DLC that they're releasing is going to be a little bit more expensive than they thought. But this is great for people who already got grandfathered into that $29.99. Everyone else, though, is screwed. They're screwed. So that's expensive for a game that I didn't really like that much. I know some people are pretty into Fallout 4, though. I mean, it hasn't made the waves Fallout 3 made back when, whenever Fallout 3
yeah,
was released.
seriously.
But yeah, it's been a while.
I feel like it like died off. I mean, when did it come out?
Fallout 4 came out not that long ago. I think maybe in
In like December, right?
December.
But I feel like, I mean, even though it's February already, I feel like games usually have like a really big game, like that one was supposed to be,
Yeah.
would still be around everywhere, and like everyone on Twitch is playing it, and that's all you see, like in YouTube is that. But
Yeah, you don't really see
now
people
Now
talking
everyone's
about
gone.
everyone's like, man,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna play Rocket League.
Yeah.
Yeah, play Fallout or play Street Fighter 5. And I know, Kaika, you brought this story up onto the Google Doc that I'm reading off of right now.
Oh yeah. So today, Thursday, they announced when and where the 2016 TwitchCon is gonna be. So it's gonna be from September 30th to October 2nd, but instead of San Francisco where it was last year, it's gonna be in San Diego.
That's kind of surprising.
I mean, I didn't get into Twitch until maybe like September.
You gonna go?
Yeah, so hasn't been that long, but I was thinking about going because I'm gonna be back home already
You live
by
nearby?
then. I live in San Jose in the Bay Area, so I was expecting it to be in San Francisco again.
Yeah.
So it's me perfect. I can just drive up every day. But now it's in San Diego, but I still might go, just depending if I have the money.
How far is that from San Jose to San Diego? Because I live in Oahu, and I was born and raised here, so I don't know how geography works.
That drive is probably, depending on traffic, anywhere from 8 to 9 hours driving.
Oh, that's long.
Yes.
So you'd want like a hotel
Because you're
room.
about an hour and a half, 2 hours from LA, from San Diego.
Okay.
Like, everyone thinks that's so close, but it's really not. I've only been to San Diego twice, and I remember passing Disneyland, like, oh, we're almost there. And then, like, 2 hours go by, like, oh, now we're here.
Yeah. How do you like San Diego? How's the city?
It's nice. First time I went there was for SeaWorld. I would slap
Nice.
myself. Back then, don't go to SeaWorld.
You don't really?
I'm against SeaWorld and all that stuff.
Oh, I see.
But
whales.
Yeah, I mean it was fun
Gotcha.
then because I got to like swim with the dolphins and stuff then.
That's cool.
But I went another time for family, but it was nice over there. I want to go. Actually, I think I was gonna go during summer this year anyway to San Diego because the MLB All Star Game is in San Diego, and
Oh.
that stadium is really nice.
Do those times kind of match up, or are you gonna have to? Would it be 2 separate trips?
It would be in July, so.
Oh, I'm
that's
so
like
sorry.
3
Yeah,
months.
this is in September.
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
September, October.
That's
But
rough.
and then if I decide to go to E3, that's so many trips down south. I don't know.
That'd be, well, yeah, that would be.
I'm definitely not going to Comic Con. I
no.
probably won't go for
I mean,
years.
Getting to E3, you have to have
Yeah.
some credentials. So hopefully this podcast blows up and we can all get into E3.
Seriously.
Come on. We need
Let's
that.
Yeah,
do
registration
this.
ends in April, so
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Mm.
It's a nice
You never
stream. It's a
Viral.
nice stream. Yeah.
I'm
We
just
have
gonna,
to do something
I'm
crazy.
just gonna submit my game review, so I might as well try. I mean, you don't have to pay for the submission.
No, but I think a lot of it is like based on the site that you write for.
Yeah,
So
Totally. I'm not expecting to go there, but if it happens,
if it happens, hey,
Then sure.
Sure, man.
I mean,
then you'll be seeing the
you
Pixel
probably
Power
need a
Up.
cameraman, right? You know, I know how to turn on a camera and I know how to point it at stuff, so I'm essentially a cameraman. That's all it takes, really.
But yeah, for people who don't know what TwitchCon is, it's just a convention to get together where all the streamers go as well as the community. So they have panels and things to teach you maybe how to gain more viewers, how to do certain things, maybe like Twitch alerts and stuff like that. And then it's also like there's after parties and all that stuff. So it's pretty much because you make friends with everyone on Twitch if you're like dedicated to a couple channels. So I mean, it's a good way to meet friends that you would otherwise never see because everyone's coming from around the country.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure people from around the world too. But yeah, that'd be great to like meet people that I've only been talking to online and then seeing other streamers.
Yeah, it's cool to like meet someone in person. Definitely.
I mean, they're not celebrities, but like in your eyes, you're not idolizing them, but they're still like, oh, I see you every day, play games with you, or watch you play games. So seeing that and then interacting, that'd be really cool.
Definitely. Wesley, you into Twitch? You a big Twitch guy?
No, just
No.
YouTube.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, again, I'm so divorced from like both of these platforms that I have no idea. How long has TwitchCon been going on? This the first year? Or is
No, last
Can't
year.
be the
I know
first
there's
year.
one last year, but I don't know. Just like I said, I didn't get into it till probably been on Twitch for like 5 months, maybe
What's your
even
Twitch
less.
handle? Kaika, Kaika.
Ikaika S3, just same as my PSN to keep it simple.
Nice.
But then I wish I could change it now, but I can't. Because if I could change it, I would have it as Puppy Monkey Baby,
Sure.
like this Super Bowl commercial. I like literally after that commercial came, I was like, oh, I want to change my name, and then I figured out you can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's just frustrating because like once I do start streaming again for Twitch, I think I actually might do tonight. I'm not sure, but since I'm doing it via the PS4, it's so limited, and I just wish you can do it the way you can on an actual computer.
You should
But
just
I don't have the
invest,
equipment.
Kaika. You should just invest, put down, $1,500.
Man, I had
Whatever,
to take out a
that's nothing.
loan. I'm poor now.
Yo, you got that
You wouldn't
Kaleo
even-
money going, You
I
got
have
that.
an extra processor even.
Yeah.
Just lying around.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's difficult, definitely,
Yeah.
to set up that.
Oh,
You also
yeah.
need like a pretty hefty internet connection. You
think
need
you
to
need,
have
like,
good ups
7
and downs.
Jesus.
What's up?
Every time,
burp?
You need
No,
like
every time-
7 up.
every time he does an S, it's like
yeah. I don't know
like
what's up with my S's now.
piercing the ears.
Oh, I think that's why we should get pop screens. But hey,
Yeah.
that's for another time.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to new releases. The Walking Dead. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce his name. This is a lady.
Michonne.
Michonne,
Do
right?
you not watch Walking Dead?
I don't watch The Walking Dead. I play The Walking Dead Telltale games, which is this. It's a Telltale miniseries. So The Walking Dead Michonne, a Telltale miniseries, is coming down on February 23rd for the PC. And I actually might play this because I don't watch the show, but I really love these Telltale games. And their first season of The Walking Dead was maybe like one of the best games of whatever year that came out in. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think they had it. I have it the whole season, the whole first season, because it was like a free game like last year or
I
something.
think PS Plus like was offering it for
Yeah.
free or something.
That's how I got it, but I haven't played it yet.
You should play it.
I know it doesn't follow the actual show though. It's
It's
which is
its own thing.
yeah, which is something that I would want to get invested to. And then I heard it gets pretty emotional in that one.
Dude, I played all 5 episodes, which takes like 14ish hours in one day, in one sitting. And I was just like this emotional train wreck by the end. I was so like, I had to go sit down at like a beach and just like stare off into the distance because I just didn't know what to do with my life. The second season wasn't as good. It was still a great game, but it wasn't. It didn't live up to the first one, so I'm excited for this.
I haven't also played those because aren't they like almost they're kind of like point and click, but
Yeah, they're not. I mean,
It's like choose your thing.
it's like a choose your own adventure,
Yes,
like dialogue heavy game.
I don't know if I'm into those yet. That's why I haven't tried it. Because I have the first episode for Game of Thrones, but I'm like, and I wanted to get Back to the Future for the 30th anniversary, but I never did. Cause
It's
I
like
don't
a
know.
visual novel.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no real gameplay. You don't. There's also like not even really any puzzles. There's like a few here and there. You're really just watching a visual novel,
Mhm.
and you can also there's also your interaction of you can choose what to say, and that actually can affect the storyline, and that's really cool. And I think you should play it. Like Kaika, you should play that
Thank you.
game. So the next game coming out is Fire Emblem's Fates, both Birthright and Conquest, which are two different games, and that's coming out on February 19th for the 3DS. This is a weird thing because these two games kind of run with each other, as in they both have their own separate stories, but they're in the same universe. And I think I'm pretty sure the way this is going is that you're playing on one side of a war, right? Like Birthright is one side of the war and Conquest is the other side of the war. So if you really want to get the full story, I've heard that you actually have to buy both games, which is kind of insane. But people are also way into Fire Emblem, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens a lot.
Just for 3DS.
But at least it's more honest than having like DLC.
That's
Like,
true.
There's two games, two
And I'm
full
sure-
developments.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get a full story if you buy just one game.
I'm so out of like the handheld gaming industry. Like the last system I had was the Game Boy SP.
Yeah, that's the only one you need. That's the
Yeah.
secret. Is the SP is the best handheld. No, I have a 3DS XL. I really enjoy it, especially.
Ooh, XL.
Yeah, I know. I'm a big guy. If you know what I mean. That means my penis is big. No. So I like Fire Emblem because they're really good strategy, kind of on an airplane kind of game. That's actually when I first played my first Fire Emblem game, which was for the SP. I played it on an airplane, and it was the best because it was a 6-hour flight, and I needed something to do, and I was 8, so I was hyperactive, and I just played that thing the whole flight, and it worked out really well. So I've been a fan ever since. I'm probably not going to pick this up though, just because I don't have the time. These games require quite a bit of investment that I don't have.
I have a funny story about my gaming experience.
Sure. Let's
So
hear it.
I had a SP when like it first came out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome." And I had it for a couple years, and then like I stopped playing with it for a while because I think I got like whatever the new console was, and then I went back to go play it, and I couldn't find it in my because I had like this old, it's like a blue Power Rangers bag from like the 90s, and I have all my like handheld games in there.
That's really weird. I also have one of those. I have like an old bag from elementary school that I keep my Game Boy in, and like my Pokemon Red, that's also in there. Anyway, go on.
So I went in there, it wasn't there, so I looked everywhere in my house, couldn't find it, and then like I asked my mom, like, you know, once it's bad when you have to ask your mom, like, did you see like this $200 thing that you bought me like 2 years ago? Because I can't find it, and she got mad at me, and then I just gave up on it. And then one day she was walking our dog at the time and found a Game Boy SP with like 2 games next to it at the park. And she like waited for like 15 minutes. No kids came, so she took it.
She took it?
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I have another one."
That's
I was
kind
like,
of awful.
I was like,
Oh,
"Okay,
boy.
thanks."
Wow.
Your mom kind of stole a Game Boy Advance SP.
Well, she waited and no one came back.
I mean, sure, but that's
Yeah. Well,
Some other kid in
Whatever.
the summer's gonna
Well,
get
I know my
yelled
mom's
at
got
by
my
his
back.
mom.
yeah.
Yeah.
so, but anyways, like a couple
Your
years.
mom will steal a Game Boy Advance SP for you. That's more than I can say about my mom.
You act like she went to like Best Buy and like stole it that way. I mean, still stealing.
She
but
stole
whatever.
it from somebody, though. That's the thing. Like, that's some
Well,
kid's Game Boy
This
Advance
is
SP.
this isn't the kicker of the story.
All right, go on. That's surprising.
So later on, when I got older, and I was talking to my brother, because he was out of the house by then, and he was like, "Oh, you remember your SP that you lost?" So I took it to work because I would play it at work during break, and someone broke into my locker and stole it, and I just never told you.
Wow.
And I was like, "Really?" And I don't even know what game was in there, but I was like, I was so mad at him.
Yeah. I've never had older
Yeah.
siblings, so I don't really know what it's like to. Oh, that's not true. I have an older sister, but we never talk. So,
But it's funny because he's like 7 years older than me, so he was
he's playing
Yeah,
it at
he's
work,
still
man.
playing
He-
it, and it's like,
yeah, and
Hey, you got to do something. I don't blame him. That was a great console, though. Game Boy Advance SP had that backlight. Oh, so sick. That was like such an upgrade from the normal Game Boy because that didn't have a backlight.
yeah,
so-
I had to have the adapter that had the light on
You had
it.
the adapter?
The one that like flips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never had one of those. I always had to just strain my eyes and lose my eyesight quickly.
But then like the battery would die, and you had to replace the battery.
Yeah, you had to have actual physical batteries compared to the recharge. Oh,
It's like, did you ever have the light for like the original Game Boy Color,
no.
where like it was like almost like a lamp, like it was like twisty like a cord, and then you can like bend at an angle, but it looked like a street light almost. Like
Yeah.
it was really weird.
Yeah, no, my friend had one of those, and I never had one. I would always play in the back of my parents' car, and I'd have to wait for street lights because it would lighten up the car. So I'd play every single time. Actually, the first time I got my Game Boy Advance SP, it was for my birthday, and my parents hid it in a popcorn box. So it was like they were unveiling my gift to me, and it was a popcorn box, and they're like, "Happy birthday!" And I started crying, and they opened it up because it was actually a Game Boy Advance SP. Hey, special guest right now. Hey, what's up, Brad? I think is your name.
Do you have any Game Boy stories?
Do you have any Game Boy?
We're talking about
stories
Game Boys
you can
right
tell
now.
us?
Oh yeah, my parents would never buy me one, so it isn't like cool enough.
Oh, you must have gotten bullied in elementary school for not having a Game Boy Advance SP.
I was.
And that was the guest for the week.
That was
Brad Doe,
Brad
Brad
Doe.
Doe.
managing editor,
yep.
Is he our is it managing editor?
Yeah,
Yep.
managing editor.
second in command.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't know he was so high up there.
Yeah.
That's awkward. I bullshit with him like all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So back to new releases.
back to new releases. Anyway.
Wow. We're only 2 out of 5.
Yeah, there was a lot this week. We can run through this one real quick. Disgaea for the PC is coming out, which is exciting because it's Disgaea's, I think, first game in the series, and it's its first port to the PC. It's coming out on February 24th. You can pick that up on Steam. I don't have any emotional connection to Disgaea, and I'm gonna guess you guys don't either.
Now
No.
we know what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
never even heard of it.
It's a game a lot like Fire Emblems, where
Shows
it's
you how much we're prepared for this.
it's okay. Don't
Exactly.
worry about
Yeah.
it. We're just gonna move on. Far Cry Primal is coming out on February 23rd for the PS4 and Xbox One. I'm not gonna pick up this game. Kaika, any?
I'll probably get it when it's on sale in like
Sure.
a year or so, and it's like $20, unless the reviews are really bad. I don't know. I saw a headline. I didn't click it, but it's like said trying to play Far Cry Primal on PS4 might be shaky. So I have no idea what that means because
I
I
have
didn't
no
click
idea
on
what
it.
that means.
There's a YouTuber I follow, the Rad Brad, on YouTube, and he got like a pre-release copy of the full game. So he's been playing through parts of it, and it looks interesting, but it's like it has a crafting. It's similar, you know. It's just like a different setting for like Far Cry 4, you know.
I think I just like. I don't know. I don't like the primal aspect, like the back in the day. You have bows and arrows, and you fight with animals and shit.
But you,
I like a gun, man.
but you gotta admit that the Sony exclusive Horizon looks awesome because it's like prehistoric, but you're still like
Oh yeah,
futuristic.
that's because there's like mecha dinosaurs. Are you kidding me? That game looks fucking radical. You fight a mecha T-Rex with a cool bow and arrow explosive thing. That game looks sick as shit.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't have it. It looks like what they did with Far Cry 3 though, and did the.
Yeah, it's like a
that's what it
third
sounds like.
person kind of thing. It's made by who was it made by? I want to say Naughty Dog, but I think that's wrong.
No.
That's definitely wrong.
I don't know who did it. I know it's not Naughty Dog.
Oh, it's made by the Killzone people, maybe. I think so. Maybe. I think so.
Might be.
Maybe just because the graphics look so good.
Yeah,
And-
the graphics do look really good. That looks
Guerrilla
like
Gaming, is that what it is?
Guerrilla Gaming. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if it's.
They made Killzone.
Let me-
We're gonna do some research later or now. I don't know. Kaika's googling something. I'm just gonna move on to the next game for now.
you can do it. That's fine.
The Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is coming out on February 23rd for the PS4 and Xbox One. I've heard good things about that first game, especially just because it's kind of class-based, and I don't know, it looks exciting. I like a good class-based third-person shooter, so I might pick that up. It's probably going to be pretty cheap. I know that first one was not a full-priced game. Ikaika, you have some results for us. Who was that? Who was
Guerrilla
who was Horizon?
Games.
Guerrilla
It was.
Games, who made Killzone, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's good to not be
Initial
wrong.
release 2016. No official date.
No official date.
I'm guessing fourth quarter.
Yeah, holiday definitely. Yeah, I'm excited for that game though.
Yeah, I have the first one. It was in a bundle.
The
but
Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, never got on it.
No, never.
Never played it.
Yeah, that was up for the PC, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This one's
on
not coming to the
Origin or
PC,
whatever.
surprisingly.
Wow.
I don't know what's up with that, man.
More
When I-
reason not to get it.
When I just remember, think of
goddamn.
Plants vs Zombies, I think of that E3 from like 2 years ago, where like I think it was that really awkward guy that was on there, and like he announced like Peggle 2. He was like Peggle 2, and like he jumped in the air and did like a fist in the air, and like almost like it was gonna freeze frame, and then like no one said anything in the audience. It was one of the most awkward moments
E3
in like E3 history.
are always super awkward though. Remember Alicia Tyler from a few years ago? It was really smoky in a room, and she was like, "Man, it's really smoky in here. Are you guys 420ing up this bitch?" And I'm like, "Oh no, Alicia Tyler, please stop. Don't talk anymore. That was awful." Yeah, no, E3 is always can go real bad real quick.
Yeah, pretty much E3 you'll see awkwardness and guys that are trying to look cool with t-shirts with blazers over it, which annoys the
That
crap
happens a
out of me.
lot at E3.
Which is like, no, if you're gonna wear a blazer, dress up. Don't try to look cool. Like
That's a casual blazer, you know?
it's looks douchey.
Nah.
Yes, it does.
If the
Why do
sleeves
you
are
do that?
rolled up, it's douchey. But I'm okay with a good t-shirt, blazer, jean.
Either
combo.
go in with the Crash Bandicoot t-shirt
You're still upset about that.
or dress up nice.
He's gonna
Don't
come-
mix it.
He's gonna come in with a Crash Bandicoot blazer next time, and then
Just
he
to
won't.
annoy you.
Yeah, then he won't
And
release
then you'd be
anything.
like, no.
All right, so that's actually it for new releases. It's been a pretty hefty week this week. A lot of news stories, a lot of stuff coming out.
I got a question.
Hey, Kaika.
So
What's your question?
so last week we talked about what game would you want to play that you haven't played in a while. So I want to change that up with what character do you want to see come back that maybe only had one game? It could be really obscure. I know mine's obscure. So pretty much any character you can think of that had its own franchise that you would like to see come back. So mine is Jersey Devil. So I don't know if you even know who that is.
No, I know Jersey Devil.
Jersey Devil, I'll pull up a picture. Jersey Devil
That's gonna play really well on this podcast.
was a PlayStation 1 exclusive. Wait, was it? Oh no, it came out on PC too.
Yeah.
So, but I remember it because I don't know if you ever had like this Sony, the first PlayStation console,
No.
because they would always, I don't know where you would get them, but somehow we would always get like the demo discs and it had like 7 games on it.
I remember demo discs.
And
PS2 had a lot of those.
We never
too.
had a lot of PlayStation games. Like me and my brother, we had to go to our cousin's house because he had all the games, so we would go and play the games there. But yeah, Jersey Devil was one of the games on the first demo disc we had, and he's like this devil-looking guy.
He's like a weird bat thing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like he can't fly, but he can glide.
Yeah.
And he's like light purple, almost pink, but I don't know. It was a really weird game. Like, I mean, I don't know how it would be stand up today because I haven't played it since then. But
Probably really bad.
Those sounds, like, if I hear them now, I know I would like. Oh, I totally remember that. It would just bring me back to that
You
time.
play a lot of the demo?
I would play, but when I had the PlayStation, I was like a really young gamer and I was not good at anything.
Sure.
So I would play and try to do whatever.
One level could take like
Yeah.
40 hours.
And I know that game was really hard because it was a really difficult game. Because even watching my brother play and like he couldn't even finish it. But yeah, it was a pretty cool game. I'm gonna add a second one. Well, if you guys are still thinking, it's
Sure,
really
man.
quick.
No, go for it.
I want to see Tomba come back.
Tomo?
Tomba,
Tomba, the
The-
barbarian looking dude?
he's I don't know how to describe
Or
him.
is he the little kid with the super big head that would
He has
headbutt
like
stuff?
purple hair. He
Purple
was
hair.
also
Like a troll? What are those things called? Trolls? The things with the purple mohawk?
Tomba, and he would fight pigs. This
I
image
remember
right here.
Tomba. Yeah, he was the guy who...
And there was like elves that were like kind of on your side, and you
yeah,
like,
it was
collect-
that 2D platformer thing.
It was almost like an RPG like platformer because there was a lot of like you'd have to go back to different worlds and stuff, and I never played it, but I always watched my brother play that game. I think I played the second one when the second one came out, but I don't know that game. That's another like really interesting game.
Sure. It's always weird to like think like what they would do with these
Yeah.
like IPs now. I mean, they bring some stuff back. Think about it. XCOM, for example, was a game that just did not play at all for most of the earlier generation of the 2000s, and then was brought back in like 2012, which is kind of crazy. Wesley Babcock, do you have an answer? Because I kind of am still thinking about it.
I don't know. I feel like I'm limited. I didn't play much when I was little, but and the one thing I thought of, Metroid, which I like played in stores on the little like
Oh man,
display demos.
Metroid is still very much.
But yeah, it's still much a thing. There's
Yeah.
a game coming out in 2016, so I'm like, I guess that's not really.
It's okay.
I win, so.
I think I have an answer if you still need some time. Do you remember Alex Kidd? No.
It sounds familiar.
It's kind of it's an older. Oh gosh, I barely remember it, and I don't really have a computer to do any research like you cats.
Sega. It's a
Was it
Sega
Sega?
game.
I think it was Sega. Yeah, he had a few games that I thought were fun, and I have some fond memories of as a child. Yeah, that's right. Alex Kidd was spelled with 2 D's. Yeah, him in the Miracle World. Yeah,
Of
that was. I
course,
don't know.
yeah.
It was a cool. It was a cool 2D platformer that I remember a lot as a kid. Yeah, that's all I got though. I mean, I don't. Again, super short attention span. I can't remember what I ate for dinner last night, so I'm definitely not going to remember characters in a video game. Come on, it's all about lore these days. Lore is
Well,
number
I
one.
thought it would ask.
Yeah, no, it's what it's all about until we get user questions, which hopefully or
Yeah.
emailed in
Hopefully
questions.
coming.
If I don't
Email
change
will
the-
be below
yeah,
this video.
if I don't change the email every single podcast,
No, we have one set now.
We have
so-
one
it's,
set now.
it's set now. So
sure. Unless
you
we
guys
change
will
the
be
podcast
good.
name again. Wesley, you don't have an
No,
answer.
no.
That's
There's
okay.
There's not really an answer here.
Yeah, that's all right. No
Everything that I could remember probably is still a franchise that's current. So
worries. Well, all right then. So, how are we doing on time?
58.
58. It's a good time to end a podcast. It's a good number. I still haven't come up with an ending thing. We were going to practice one before we started recording, but I don't have one right now. So the music is probably going to start fading in right now, and then Akaika is going to stop recording right about now.